Lord. Peace and love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us again on our YouTube channel, Flowing Growing with Sister Nzinga, where we have created a acronym for the word think, THINK, taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. Taking hold of and implementing new knowledge, because our purpose here is to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. This is something that's very important to us, and it should be important to you. Well, in my opinion, but we live our lives. This world is full of choices. We are able to make choices for whatever we choose. And so it is a choice. Either you can choose to play along with the system, because it surely is a play. They playing with you. Or you could emancipate yourself from mental slavery and live the freedom that God has blessed you with. So thank you again. Thank you for subscribers. Thank you for those that are listening, sharing, and commenting. So please continue to comment, talk Black to me. Speaking of that, we have a guest today, Sister Yesah. Thank you, Sister Yesah, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
So Sister Yesah is joining us today because last month I put out, actually it wasn't last month, it was the previous month, that I put a call saying that I really am grateful for people to listening to our YouTube page and sharing. And I said, anyone who would comment the most or show me in some type of way that they are emancipating themselves from mental slavery, and they are taking hold of information and creating and utilizing this information, taking hold of and implementing new knowledge, I would give a $25 gift certificate. And Sister Yesah is the winner of that. So sister, congratulations to you, formally, publicly telling you thank you and congratulations to you that you are taking hold of information, taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. So thank you again for joining us. We just want to have a little conversation and to introduce yourself first, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about how are you implementing new knowledge, and where were you, and what was some of the things that you felt were those things that touched you to make you start implementing new knowledge. I know you personally, and I know that you're applying not just my knowledge, you're applying other people's knowledge. You are working on emancipating yourself from mental slavery for sure.
Absolutely, yes. And thank you so much again. The gift card was completely, I didn't even expect it. So that was pretty awesome. And I appreciate you. My name is Yesah Lester. My background is a little silly. Well, not silly, but
it's yours.
It's mine. Okay, it's mine. Started off, was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. And I ended up getting an education, went to school for computer engineering. I went to the industry, was a software engineer for a while on Silicon Valley. And then I decided to emancipate myself from all of that actually and start over. So I feel like this is like my fourth lifetime, as I like to tell people. So I actually decided to leave the country, leave my job, and just figure it out and see what works for me. So I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you came from Silicon Valley to where you are now.
Yes.
So we love. Okay, because I thought you were where you were born. Okay, well, that's very interesting. And so that's good. So after watching our YouTube channel, what are some of the things that stood out to you that made you continue to to watch my videos? Because I think you probably have watched most of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. There was a theme around majority of your videos that I really appreciated and was dear to me. And it was the concept of love. Right? A lot of your initial videos was about self-love. And I feel like, honestly, like we as people complicate things a little bit. Like if you really think about it, if we just simply operate out of love, the world would be a better place. Simple as that. So seeing you talk about self-love and how we need to rewire our mindset, the way we think, I was like, oh yeah. And of course I know you personally as well, but hearing the content that you were speaking about, I was like, yep, this is the one. So I tuned in every Tuesday and listened to your stuff, and I'm a fan. I am, and I appreciate you so much for doing this work because it is well needed. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's something that's dear to my heart. Like I always say that, of course, I don't know everything, but with things that I do know, I'm definitely willing to share. And if I could just touch the soul of at least one person, definitely would love to be able to touch many people, because I think it's urgent. It's urgent that we start thinking for ourselves, because really it ain't illegal yet. But, we've been through so many systems, And they're saying, you can't do this, you can't do that, because right now I cannot believe that we have men deciding the outcome for a woman. There's no women involved in this situation. There are some men who are going to make a decision about whether a woman could bring forth a child or not. And then in the most tragic part, because sometimes you know well, I will say, there are a lot of young people who are having babies, blah, blah, blah. So we should be a little more mindful with, the birth control and the things that they do, and to use those systems. So, we don't have these children like this. But the worst part that I think that they're really not considering is that when a woman is raped or in some type of way sexually abused, and they're telling her that, no, you still have to born this child. Like, what outcome are you having for that child? Because this woman, you don't know how she's going to feel emotionally towards this person who is the outcome of a very serious trauma in her life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't want to have this conversation about that, but I'm just saying, but, the things that's illegal, that the point is that we have got to start doing things for ourselves, because this system is trying to decide for us. They already, how can I say this? They're not saying it directly, they're indirectly, I should say, indirectly telling you what to wear, what to eat, where to go, what car to drive, what TV show to watch. People just really don't realize that, that you're watching that because you saw somebody else watching, somebody told you, oh, girl, watch this, or maybe they shows on the news and say, this is the new movie out, this is the new style out, and blah, blah, blah. And so that's mental slavery. We are in a situation where we are in a really serious, traumatic system of mental slavery. And the worst part about it is that people do not realize that they're slaves. And that's the part that I talked about. I did start off like talking about like, how do we get here? And I started off doing that. And then I said the next thing is that, okay, self-love. You got to love yourself. We've got to love ourselves. And then I moved on to different things that's going on in the system. So share with me, I want this to be more about you. Share with me some changes that you've made. How have you taken hold of and implemented new knowledge? What type of things have you implemented that's new in your life? Like, where were you and where are you now?
Okay, beautiful. Yes. So anyone that knows me knows that I am an advocate for healing. I feel like that is the first and foremost thing that we need to do to realize who we are, and better yet, what we are not. I feel like we're being told constantly, oh, you're this, you're ghetto, you're inward, you're this and that. And it's like, you're not any of those things. You are a brilliant, smart individual. You are kings and queens. But a lot of us just don't know that. And that's the heartbreaking part about it.
It is heartbreaking.
So, it is. So when I realized that about myself, I was like, wait a minute, something's not right. You actually mentioned something in one of your old videos, transition, and transformation.
Yes, I love that.
Love that one, because that is something that I've been doing for a lot of my life, but I never actually sat and thought about what I was doing. Right? I'm just doing it. But watching your channel and you saying like, oh yeah, these are the things that needs to be done for us to grow, for us to ascend. I was like, oh my goodness, that's it. It's so simple. And I think just having that ideology and being able to share that with others, you're able to make change in that way. I've always been one that wanted to help a lot of people. And I used to honestly stress myself out about it. I'm like, oh, the world is crazy. I need to help. How can I help? I realized, I'm like, all it takes is one domino. And I tell myself that. I tell myself that all it takes is one domino. If I speak to one person and I'm able to invoke them into healing, invoking them into thinking a different way, then I've done my job. And I'm that.
Yeah, it's the same way I feel about doing the videos. I'm putting it out there. I'm just, somebody's, people, I'm grateful that people are watching. So I do see people are watching them. And so it's about just sharing and caring, because we are in a world right now where love and kindness is so important. Love and kindness is so important. And we just really don't understand some of the circumstances that we put ourselves into by making certain choices. We are just thinking that, if it looks a certain way, I mean, especially when it comes to food, oh, this tastes good. I had put this thing out with details about the nastiness of hot dogs. But a person wrote me back and said, oh yeah, she says, oh, that is so gross. But she said, but girl, honey child, you put it on the grill, put on some onions and some mustard, girl, honey child, it tastes so good. I was like, So, we need help. We need help because they're not taking this seriously, because this is about your life, because you can create a better life for you. You can create a more freer life, a more stressless life, if we would just make better choices. It's just that simple. We do not have to acquiesce to everything that this system is doing. I love that word. I really don't like a lot of these words that they've made up, but that particular one I do like, because so a lot of times when I make mistakes on videotape, and I like said, okay, well, this ain't my language anyway. So,
right.
but, I like that we're acquiescing. We just are acquiescing to this system, and we are not realizing that the people who enslaved us, if that's a true story, because I talked to you about that off record, if that's a true story, that the people that enslaved us are the same, or the people who is in place right now are the family line of these same people. And so, this is what their great grandfather was doing, and they passed it down to their grandchildren, and now they passed down to their children, and now they passed down to blah blah blah, and they're the ones that's holding all the bank, and they're the ones who's in positions to make rules, because we do not think for ourselves about, like, well, maybe what's this, maybe this, or maybe I don't like that, or it's just really just that simple to be able to make a decision. Well, certain styles of clothing. That's like, that's cool. Yeah, but thing that is not a really good look for everybody. And some people will be wearing it, be like, maybe I know that's in style, but it ain't for you. So you have to make a decision, that, okay, no, that's not for me. And sometimes I get into situations where I'm the oddball out, because, and I know, I'm sure you felt that too, because we are not just kind of going along. No, well, girl, we're going to do this here. No, I don't want to drink that. I don't want that. No, thank you. I'll have to just fix me some water, or I don't want to go there. Or honey, we all gonna wear blue. You wearing blue? No, I'm not. Not of all y'all wearing blue.
Right.
So we have to make choices. We have to make choices. That's what it's about. So, what are some of the things through other means that you have learned and are implementing? Talk about some of the other things that have you at the point where you are right now.
Okay.
I know that you've made some grand decisions, because you really literally, you are a well-educated sister. You've worked in that field, was making really good money, and you just said, and you made a great choice. This is not for me. This is not for me. And just to tackle this briefly, I know I just asked you a question. I do want you to answer. But you know what, sister, when I was I graduated from high school, and I immediately got a job for one of the little industries here. And I worked in there for 4 years. And I just said, oh, this is not for me. Working for somebody else, it was not for me. And so thank God, that, we all come with skills. And I use some of my God-given talents. And that ended up me having being self-employed up for 40 years. So yeah, so let's hear. So what are your plans? I mean, you don't have to get personal, but I know you've made some grand decisions to just leave your job alone, and you're living and you're surviving, you're doing well. So what are some of the things, how did that happen? Or talk about that a little bit, please, if you don't mind.
Yes, well, I like to start by saying I'm blessed. Hallelujah. Like,
yes, girl, give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise.
Always giving thanks. And honestly, I feel like that's one of the things that got me where I am today. Giving thanks. It's huge. I even wrote a blog about it, but I'll get into that later. I've been working with this company for over 3 years, and I'm not saying that the company is bad. It actually was very, very supportive, gave us a lot of time off, all the, what is it called? The nooks and crannies. But my spirit just wasn't there. I wasn't passionate about the work I was doing. I didn't feel fulfilled. And honestly, I don't like working for people. That's my personality. I don't enjoy being told what to do, being told where and I can or can't go, or it just didn't feel right to me. And anyone that knows me know I prioritize freedom. So with that being said, even though it was comfortable, I was making 6 figures, doing pretty well with myself, I still made the conscious decision to walk away because it just didn't sit right with my soul. And a lot of people was asking, like, why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. What is wrong with you? Why would you, how did you come to that conclusion? And I said, honestly, I didn't have an answer, because I just did whatever my spirit told me to do. I was like, I felt like I needed to pivot.
You follow spirit. That's
I
good for
follow
you.
spirit. I
Mm-hmm.
follow spirit, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, so what are you gonna do next? I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm still in that position of figuring it out. My goal is to start a business of some sort. I wanna just test out some things, figure out what works for me. What are some of the gifts that I have? What can I contribute to the world? What makes me light up? What makes me want to get out of bed every day? I'm in search of that right now, and it's freeing. It is. And I'm also doing some other work as well because I'm real passionate about healing and helping people. So I actually started an organization or a
Yes.
program
Mm-hmm.
called Sister Sanctuary.
I can tell you talk about that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. So the goal there was to provide women with a safe space, not only physically, but emotionally as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of us women are so swept up in the world and what's going on. And, you know, we're fillers. We feel
Mm-hmm.
these things. We feel the energies of, you know, imbalancedness. And I feel like we are really impacted right now. And sometimes we just need someone to listen. And I wanted to create that space for women in our community. So I decided to go ahead and start making some things happen, right? Like, let's take hold and implement some new knowledge and share that knowledge. So yeah, we have programs, yeah, some sessions coming up where we even identify human trafficking, domestic violence and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, that's very good. I'm glad that you're, you know, taking your time, not rushing into anything that evidently you must have had a plan. So you must have made a plan where you say, plan your work and then you work your plan. So that must be what you're doing. And that's very good.
Correct.
So I'm not gonna go on long. I just really wanted to take this next video to really to thank you and just to have a conversation and let people know, to show you're an example of, you know, because and then one thing I know that you did do, I know that you left America. In addition to even your job, you left America, and you're living at a place where you don't have to worry about, you know, having six figures, you know, that you can live comfortably, you're healthier, you have fresh food, fresh air, good weather, and positive vibes. And sometimes, you know, that's much more, that's your wealth. Your health is your wealth. And so that's more important for you to be able to be in a job where you don't like going to work every day. Because that's what it was. I didn't like going to work every day. I didn't enjoy it anymore. And
Right.
And so when you're in a situation like that, you don't want to be that. You want to just be able to be free and to be able to, you know, like you said, you're going to figure out how to work this thing out. So I thank you so much for being a good example, especially for, you know, someone in your age range, to be able to show that, you know, it's not all about just going to making this money and then you're going to get this money, you're going to get this car, you're going to material things, fill up, you know, use your money on material things, that you are understanding that you come from abundance and you are abundant. And so you don't have to worry about, you know, some things that people worry about. Oh, how. No, we don't have to worry about the how and the why. We just put it out there to the universe, and the universe blesses us if we are living according to the Most High's will. So that's the most important thing. We can't say I'm a this, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a that. But if you ain't living according to it, it ain't getting it. So the spirit will say, okay, yeah, I hear you.
Yep.
Checking you off. Okay, let me come back to you. Because I don't see you saying it, but you ain't doing it. Right. And so that's the whole point of taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. So my sister, I'd like to thank you. If there's anything else you'd like to say, any comments you have to say, or I'd like to thank you.
The only thing I want to say is, again, giving thanks to you, Sister Nzinga. Like, the work you're doing here is absolutely remarkable, and we need you. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, sister. Give thanks. Well, I'd like to thank you, and I thank you. Listen to all my subscribers. Please continue to share, to leave comments, and you know, I'm just trying to just do my part, because that's what we have to do now, because we're in a situation that we've been so picked about, like, you know, the black against the light, and the fat against the skinny, and the light against the dark, and the, you know, all this kind of stuff. This religion against that religion, that we are not unified as a people right now. But individually, we all can do our part. And I pray that Spirit accepts me as doing my part, and I know that you're doing your part too, sister. So I'd like to thank you and for joining me today and sharing, and how you have taken hold of implemented new knowledge. Again, thank you, everybody. God loves you, and so do I. So thank you so much, and continue to have a blessed day, my sister. All right, peace and love.
Peace and love.